I sure hope things will change. Right? That seemed to be my only hope.
Well, for things to change for you, you've got to change. Good afternoon and good morning, good day, everybody, wherever you may be. Thank you so much for joining in today. My name is Guguletu Taba, your host on Amandla Mnoto and Rod Chamber. Thank you so much for joining in, colleagues. It's a pleasure once again to have this session where you can be able to join in your relaxed environment so that we can catch up and have you present your business. Today, we said we'll give an opportunity to people who would like to tell us about what they do. And we are always excited to hear which people are getting networks and they are connecting one with another. And they are really helping each other to grow their ventures. And that is for us a thrill. That's what really makes us excited, because this platform is exactly all about that. So today we've got a bit of an agenda, a few things to talk about. First of all, to appreciate Eswatini that they are really on the move, and I want to congratulate you guys, even though some are still joining in, but we are recording this session as usual, and it will be possible on our Amandla Mnoto TV YouTube channel. And by Eswatini, I want to commend you highly for really trying your best, and I know you hosted Aubrey Ntuncha, who is here with us. The story of cassava is really moving. And it was beautiful. You did a great presentation. And I think you really are doing very, very well in the space. And this cassava association, like you did last week with a bigger group, we hope it grows. Actually, it is not just a question of hoping, it is going to grow. There's something so, so fulfilling about being a farmer. I really think it shows that God made us all farmers. And we're coming from that very first occupation that He gave to everybody, that, you must work the earth. I was harvesting in the past week or so myself, butternut and some maize and all of those things. And really, I really think all of us here must become farmers in one way or the other. This inflation that is pushing prices so high, and we just let it run, simple because we just hear economists say it's just inflation issues. Really, this is all a created structural, issue to ensure which capitalism thrives, which we believe in, and we know that capitalism is what drives the world. But truly speaking, just to plant carrot or some few seeds of pumpkin or butternut, and instead you just go and buy everything, even those flowers. I know some of us love flowers, but those flowers, sometimes they don't add so much value, except just to make the place look aesthetically beautiful and beautify the environment. But, plant, mix up with some vegetables or something that you can eat. So don't have to all the time go and buy food, which has become so expensive in the shops. So I think it's very important, this space of the agric. I'll talk about it a little more. I've harvested cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes. This is very interesting. Sisu Glenda, and spinach. This is so good. And maybe whilst on that, as we're waiting for our first speaker, I was just commending Eswatini, which you're doing good by pushing the frontiers of agriculture. Mr. Gogo, I know you'll talk about Royal Chamber. You posted something on the group here, which I would like you to just talk for a minute about, because I think we always eat mango and eat all of these things, but we throw these things away. It was just interesting for me to see what you posted. Awuyisho leba ukuthi uyenza njani lento bese iyamane iyamila again.
Ngibingelele to Amandla Omnotho and to you, Chair. Nami trickle engayithola ngakuhamba la ngibheka ukuthi masitshala singenza njani. So umango wabona uma uqeda ukudla nje umango, when you've just finished eating your mango, you peel that seed, you take out the seed inside of that pulp, or they call it the pulp. Noma inhlamvu lelapha phakathi kulolu gobhozi lolu. Uyikhiphe bese uthatha nje noma ngaba i-toilet paper noma ngaba lokho i-paper towel lokwasekhishini, and then you ukwenze kube damp, umanzise ngamanzi bese ugoqa inhlamvu yakho kamango, and then you can use a plastic bag, especially the Ziploc ones. They work very nice because uyakwazi ukuthi ukhiphe umoya kahle without ukuyivalela ukuthi ingakwazi ukukhula. So once you have ziplocked, you put it in a warm place. 2-3 weeks, I think I've got 3 seeds now that have germinated. I've just planted one outside in my pot plant, and and the second one is also getting ready.
It's germinating.
It's germinating as well. Yes.
That is beautiful. I mean, that's the whole forest. That is the whole tree right there. You've started it. And yet how many of us just eat, throw away, eat, throw away? You know, this poverty thing, that's why I always believe, truly speaking, it's manufactured in the field of laziness, wherein we lazy to just ukbamba the seed and do as Babu Kolko is saying, just guma this thing. Within few weeks, isimilile lento. Can you imagine a situation where, actually, I fantasize about this. Imagine a situation where we go all across the routes and in the forest and everywhere else, we plant lots of seeds of different kinds, and come time for mango, for banana, for all of those types of things. Monkeys have got food in the forest, so are baboons, and so are all of us as humans. When you stop on the side of the road, you can pick up a pear because someone just threw some seeds with intentionality this time and deliberately, that we really make our earth a garden of Eden, so to speak. Yes, there will still be commercialization, but you know, you at least have got people who are picking up food for free, just like we normally do your indigenous fruits, amashala, you know, all of those types of things. Honestly speaking, this is all in us as humans, and that's why we are human beings. But we cannot just be like sheepishly following a system that does not take us anywhere. People are sick this day, malnutrition, undernutrition, all because of the way of thinking that we as humans have decided to maybe follow a particular order in terms of how we think things ought to be. I'm going to put you on the spot, Lele Mfukeng. You two are sending me something here that you've harvested. I want you to tell us, what have you harvested? This is very interesting for me. Go ahead, Lele. Open your mic.
Good afternoon, everyone. I've harvested tomatoes. It was actually today. Eating tate utamatis one from the garden and enjoy it. I have grapes. So what I do crop rotation. I studied agriculture in 1999 before it was closed. So every year I will do a crop rotation. So planting different crops to make sure that my soil is not bored. And I don't buy artificial manure. So whenever I discard good dustbin running energy, only anything that is foodish, I throw it at the corner. The sun is there, it's dominating. That soil gets dark, and I always mix it with my soil. I think Utish Ngwenya, wherever he is, who taught me 99 would be very proud.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, thank you so much. I see your grapes there as well. I see your tomato. Wow, this is beautiful. I mean, and this, you know what? You know, these things, averagely, they take 3 months. 3 months, you've got your butternut, you've got your tomato, you've got everything. How much lazy can we be before it not that way? Even namanje, if we're still looking for farms, but you are failing to use your backyard garden, even when it comes to manure, how much of the waste do we discard coming from the kitchen? You know, that's where you can start having vermiculture, having those worms that need to go and replenish the earth and assist in making umhlabati fertile and all of those things. I mean, it's things like this. We're going to bring our vermiculture guy because the program went south. He's reviving it and he's coming again. He's trying to do his best. But for the vermicompost, and one of you here came to me and said, for the other program that we're having, can you offer, okay, that was for the turmeric. He said, can you offer vermicomposting? I said, yes, sir. We definitely want you to offer vermicomposting, but we'll talk about this because many of you have planted this, what you call your turmeric. And I'm in Zimbabwe just in the next few weeks before I go to Taiwan, where we will be looking at this whole process of making tea out of the turmeric leaves. It's already on the run because every program that we start want to follow it through. If we ask you to enlist into a particular program, we would like you to really follow through because as Lana, we are serious, we mean business, and you will see salama pepper cardboard. Thank you so much for those that have just shared. Thanks, Danaswa. I am going to see you definitely in Zimbabwe, my brother. You're a young man who's truly, truly amazing, and he is surrounded himself with great people. We always talk about getting yourself mentored and coached. Don't go without a mentor, even if it's that mentor, it has to charge you. Even if it's I've got one of some of our mentors here, like Mike, the co-founder of Mag and Bean. I mean, some of you are being mentored by him. He charges just 600 rands an hour to sit down with you, take you through the life experience that you've never been to. You cannot buy experience. You can only experience because experience is more like your greatest teachers. And if you surround yourself with 5 people whose average age is 50 years, and you've got 250 years of experience and wisdom around you, so that you don't have to fail where I've failed, but you will succeed because I will be able to guide you and give you. And so is other people who are more experienced than yourself, and give you the wherewithal and the ways of how do you become successful in property, successful in agriculture, successful in mining, successful in everything. Our arsenal is very full this year. You will see it because there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and not just this talk that we're having here. And I'm excited, and I would like you to please be part of this journey and commit fully. So I've got another brother here who's just going to talk to us for about 5 or so minutes. And his name is Willis Sami from TWR Consulting. Willis was referred to me by my brother Makawe Katide, who's in hospital today. May he be well. And if you are here, Makawe, we wish you well, dear brother. And so Willis, they offer successful accreditations. You remember a certain brother who, Mr. Mpofu, was here teaching us about how do you get into having your QCTO. Things are changing very fast in the training space. For some of you, you'd remember a couple of years ago, we hosted 5 CEOs of SITAs. I was having a meeting with one of the CEO of Foodbev, Sis Noktula. I was their board member there until last year. So I'm back to working with them now privately because I want them to come to you, guide you. But today I thought just for a few minutes, let's get this brother to come and assist you. How do you become accredited through QCTO? I've seen with many people are not clued up and clear about that, and maybe he can help you fast track your accreditation in terms of QCTO. Willis, over to you for this next 5 or 7 minutes, and just talk to us about that. Thank you. Willis, unmute yourself. Are you there? Right. I'm not sure whether Willis can hear me, but you are in. I saw that on our WhatsApp thingy. Let's see if Willis is here. Yeah.
My brother.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, my brother.
So sorry, man, for the delay. I'm used to use Microsoft Teams, so I'm just trying to look for where the unmute button is, but I finally got it. All right. Thank you so much for the time. My name is Willis Sami, and I'm the founder of TWR Consulting and Training. So maybe for the reason of this meeting and this conversation, I'll just stick to the consulting aspect of our business. So like what you mentioned before, there are a lot of changes that have been happening in the training industry, especially from last year, even up to now going onwards. There were a lot of things that were being done by the SETAs. When I mean SETA, I mean the different kind of SETAs. It could be services SETA, HW SETA, LG SETA, Dublin RA SETA, all those kind of SETAs. But now what happened now is there's a transition now that was done, or that is in process already, from the SETAs now up to QCTO. So what does it mean? So it means that any company or any SDP that wish to offer training that is accredited is no longer doing it by the SETA now, but the accreditation body now is QCTO. So you see now that there are many companies that have got still the accreditations that are still valid. Some of them may be up to December this year, some next year, June, some next year, December as well. But as soon as that accreditation with the SETA, whether it was HW SETA, expires, it means you won't be able to renew it now with that SETA. But the renewal now is being done by QCTO. And all the programs, let me just say maybe 70% or 80% of the programs are being uploaded on the QCTO website that were being previously on the SETAs. So where we come in now is there are a lot of companies that want to do this transition. Some of them, maybe they do not have time. Some of them, it's just a wearisome process for them. Some of them, they don't even know how to do it. Some of them, they're not technologically advanced, you understand? So that's where we come in now as a consulting company, and we are helping companies now to get their accreditation. And it's not only about doing in the normal application. We do everything from start to finish, and also with our close relationship with the QCTO guys now, is people that have been doing it now. We've got some advantage that we get in making sure that the process is a bit quicker than someone that is just applying on their own. You understand? Because there are people that I talk with, some of them, they can tell you that I applied 2024, beginning of 2024, there's no response. Some of them, they say we uploaded documents for desktop evaluation, there's no response. But with us now, that's where we come in now. And we talk with our people and we make sure that everything is done smoothly and is done timely as well. So apart from that, the application itself, we are also able to provide everything that comes with the application, because some of the major things that they look for when you're doing the application, they require an OHS, Occupational Health and Safety Audit Report. In our company, we do that. It has to be done by a SIWOCH registered member. We do that as well. Maybe you do not have the learning materials, we provide that as well. Maybe you do not have financial statements. We've got our auditors, accountants who can do that as well. So basically what I'm saying is we assist companies from start up to finish until you get your accreditation letter and you are ready to offer your training. I don't know, Mr. Gugulet, if there's anything that I've left out, or maybe if there's a follow-up question, I can hear from you.
Well, I would like to hear from those that may be having questions. In case you may have that. Yeah, so Baba Paz, not Lela, just unmute.
Okay, just a quick question. I think it didn't mention the charges. How much does it charge for that? It sounds very interesting, but we need to know how much they are charging to do that.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Willis?
Oh, okay, sir. All right. So when it comes to charges now, we've got different packages according to the number of qualifications that we're going to be applying for. But for the sake of time, I'll just talk about two only. The first one is, let's say you want to apply for one qualification, just for instance, that qualification can be project management, let's say it's occupational health and safety, let's say it's computer technician. That one qualification on its own, we charge 10,000. And on that 10,000 now, we include number one, the learning materials. Number two, there's also the facilitator, the assessor, the moderators coming from our side. And some of the things that you might not have, let's say you do not have a business plan, we can provide that. Let's say you do not have a QMS, we can provide that. So it means that this fee includes those, but it excludes now the OHS and the financial statements. That will be on the SDP, but also in the event that you want us to do that for you, we can do that at an extra charge. I hope I've answered you well. Okay, and the second one is for qualification, that would be 30,000. Here I'm talking about full qualification. So I said one full qualification is 10,000, and what it includes, and 4 full qualifications is 30,000, and all that it includes thereof. And also under QCTO, there are what they call skills program, or maybe with the SITAs is the ones that were previously unit standards. There are some that have been converted now into skills program, which is a shorter course that span maybe up to maybe between, some is 5 days, like first aid, it can be 2 days, some they span up to 3 months, maybe new venture creation, conflict management and things like that. Those ones now, one is 7,500. It includes also everything that I've mentioned on the full qualification pack, and 4 qualifications under skills program is 20,000. I hope I answered you well.
Yeah, I thank you. Nodela, you answered, right?
Yes, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone with another question on this one? Okay, let me see. I think everything is clear unless there is a yeah. Can we get the contact numbers that Willis, the email address, right? What's your turnaround time? They are asking that, Willis.
Turnaround time 3 months. 3 months.
Turnaround time 3 months.
We'll finish everything in 3 months. Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. Turnaround time 3 months. Okay, right? So some people want your contact numbers. I would gladly ask you to please just give it to them, write it down there, and tell them how do they reach to you.
Okay, I'm just writing them down in the chat now.
Okay. Thank you so much. Can you provide core tactics details? What is core tactics, Glenda? Or
Maybe
you know
she
what
wanted
is
to say contacts.
or insurance contacts. Oh, okay. Please do that. Thank you. Okay, so anybody else with a query or question or seeking clarity points for Willis? If there's none, we move. Okay, so Willis, it seems you've outdone yourself. info@TWR. Where are you based, Willis? That's Dr. Mlapo asking.
Okay, we are based in Pretoria CBD.
But you work all over the country, right?
Yeah, we work across South Africa. Yes, across the nation.
Okay, no,
Distance is not a barrier.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Doc. Charlie Coward, I see your thing is on. Do you want to say something, or just
Good afternoon, sir. I hope you guys are all well. I've been invited by wonderful Joseph Davis Sr. in America.
You nearly downgraded him to junior. He's senior.
I know he's going to kick me in the head.
Thank you so
Sorry,
much
Joe.
for. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much
sir.
for coming through. We truly appreciate. Thanks, Brother
No,
Joe.
I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate, yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank
Right.
you.
Okay. Thanks, Willis. Any last word before I let you go?
No last words, my brother. All I can just say is thank you for the opportunity to mix and connect with other entrepreneurs. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Truly appreciate you as well. So, colleagues, thank you so much. That was Willis, and I hope you are able to get some assistance. So let's move to the next Rural Chamber of Commerce. Maybe before I do that, let's just talk briefly about some developing story, which is the Amandla Mnoto Grand Economic Conference that is supposed to be next month. We have had to shift it to end of May, so it's no longer happening next month, colleagues. We just want you to be aware of that the conference is now going to happen at the end of May. We'll give you the specific dates, but it's somewhere towards the end of May. This was due to reasons of venue, sponsorship, and other things that we've had to consider. That's 28th to the 29th to the 30th, I think, somewhere there, but we'll communicate those dates properly. So we apologize to all of those that were already ready for next month. Again, it was beyond our control. We needed to make sure that we do this conference and do it so well because it is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, our 7th conference. And we have spoken to our international partners and those that were already booked to come over to this conference. And kindly, they've accepted the fact that we need to shift it to end of May. And some of them already, they were booked to come because there are programs that are going to be running, which, were already scheduled to be discussed during the time they are here. And one of those programs, I was talking to my team on the Rural Chamber, it is your ethanol production, where we need at least over 5,000 hectares of sugar cane, for those that are in sugar cane, to be able to sort of plug into that particular program. It's mostly going to be done in either KwaZulu-Natal or Mpumalanga, places where normally you've got lots of sugar cane. Again, I want to tip you on that because it's one of our practical programs which has got funding already from overseas. It's going to help a lot of sugarcane farmers to really come and be part of this particular. Yeah, so it's gonna be one of those programs which we need you to participate in. I had just asked again, Sean or Fanny. Remember last time we asked those that wants to be part of the Moringa incubation program. That program is funded for people that wants to be part of it. And thank you to those that responded. And that's why you must always look out for the announcements that comes from my desk in particular, because I know there's lots of information happening there and people are posting and etc. But please always be on the lookout at times for what I'm posting, because it is something that will definitely benefit you like it has benefited others. Those that have submitted in Mpumalanga, they will definitely be assisted through that Moringa program. And Moringa is even a bigger crop that we are moving with all across the Southern African region. So we wanted to let you know about that. Remember, the Amandla Mnoto Grand Economic Conference has got golf in it, and which we're happy that we're bringing it this year again, and has got awards in it. And we're happy that we're bringing awards this year for the second time, which we'll do after golfing. Golfing this time is going to be at the end of the conference. And in the evening, we'll be having our beautiful awards ceremony. I have spoken to the Durban mayor already and many other ministers in South Africa who are so excited to come to this particular conference. The theme of this conference is going to be Ruranomics, which has to do with the rural economy. And I'm encouraging you to not just think about the fact that you live in urban areas and therefore this does not concern you in any way. No, this concerns you as much as it concerns somebody who lives in rural areas. The reason why we want to call it that way, theme it around rurality, it's because we are placing an emphasis on the rural nature of our country and our continent, because Africa, by and large, is very much rural. I was telling others on radio in the past few days, I was talking on one of the radio stations and saying, even for those who live in Durban, for instance, Durban is 65% rural. Other people don't know that. It's only maybe Johannesburg, which is about 2.5% rural and 97+% urban. But many other places are still rural. And then you do need to have a focus on the rural nature of our economy so that we guide people in terms of how do you activate economic activity in rural spaces and structure rural spaces for people who live there and those who want to invest there, so that those places will really be part and parcel of the economic activity right across the country. Something very interesting in South Africa when you're talking rurality, much of the rural activity is not captured even in the gross domestic product, which is the GDP of the country. And I guess that's the same for other places, because those places are just like, on autopilot when it comes to the development. You see beautiful development happening, but the key question is the economy captured properly? I was reading stats on Stats SA, and as you know, that statistics becomes a decision, sort of like science-based, thing where for the country to make decisions going forward, they've got to read and understand what stats say. But if stats for rurality is not captured properly, especially as far as economy and economic activity is concerned, as much as we have got an economy that currently is sitting at $420 billion, which is around close to 8 trillion rand economy. However, if we do not capture rural economic activity, it means we are not doing justice even to that sort of like output and the measure of economy in terms of the GDP. So this is why this is so important. I think maybe still on that, I want to talk about the Rural Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and as to why are we emphasizing on this and on you becoming part of the Rural Chamber of Commerce and Industry as a regional body that encompasses rural activities when it comes to economy, and then how do you participate therein, and et cetera, et cetera. We want you to please note that as we are busy calling for people who want to serve on this Rural Chamber of Commerce and Industry in districts, we want you in districts to raise your hand. We just need 5 people from each district. Currently, I think we've got about 54 or so districts in South Africa. We are obviously not going to be starting, perfectly, as it were. Siyazi ukuthi kusazoba khona ama-gaps here and there lapho ozothola ukuthi asinawo ama-districts are represented. But here is the thing about Amandla Umnotho, about the Rural Chamber of Commerce and Industry, about Operation Wele Khaya, Wele Khaya. We want to make sure that people who live in rural areas are able to plug in to the jugular, as it were, to plug into the vein of economy across the country, because policies are in place, policies that talks to how to develop rural areas. And by and large, a number of people still live in rural areas, as much as urbanization phenomenon is still the thing, not only in South Africa, but continentally and globally. People shift and move into big cities. But big cities, they are just guzzlers of consumption. They consume a lot when it comes to food, etc., etc. But rural areas, we've identified that they are being left alone in a sense. You'd find activities of economy are becoming a little bit less, and yet rural areas possess large tracts of land. And rural areas are the places which produce food in terms of farming activity, agriculture, that which we're talking about. Rural areas possess lots and lots of minerals. And that's why you do not have minerals, or rather mining, happening in cities. It used to be the case here in Johannesburg, where I am. But the resultant effect of that economic activity that used to happen then has given birth to the biggest city in Africa, which is Johannesburg. But rural areas have got the same sort of like a character, in a sense, where when big mines are working there, they are supposed to actually live the sustainable economic activity thereafter, so that long after they're gone, because mining is a finite resource. They're supposed to, once they're done and they're gone, to create an economic activity that will sustain people there, because sometimes they spend 30, 50, 100 years, or you name it. And South Africa has been mining for over 200 years. So you can imagine quite a lot of mines are closing as a result. But there's nobody who's challenging those mines to say, let's place around the mining towns proper economic activities that are going to sustain those places, and therefore create jobs and employment, and therefore create entrepreneurs, and therefore create the entire ecosystem of entrepreneurship that is going to spur economic activity further and make sure that people participate and grow in their economic advances. So these are issues that are going to be part and parcel of our rural definition of, way of engaging with a rural chamber of commerce and industry. And what we want to do, obviously, is to create these structures, Guma districts. Lama structures azoba nabantu abawu-5 who must become paid up members of rural chamber of commerce and industry. And those people, we want to train them. If you are trained, we want to retrain and reskill you, want to expose you further to many of the things that we are talking about, and some of the things that we won't even have time to talk about here. Want to make sure that you become excellent in analyzing the rural environment. Want to make sure that you understand how to be part of your own rural activity, as it were. Want to help you to identify things that I think are very important, which have to do with how is your economy sort of like structured. Because I'll make an example. If you are talking about the economy of the Amajuba district, that is Newcastle, Danhauser, Dundee, etc., etc. That economy, we as members of Amandla North and Rural Chamber, as champions of economic activity and development, we need to understand, for people who live in that economic environment, what drives the Amajuba district economy, number one, and what are opportunities that are there in the district, right, in terms of different sectors of economy. And how do we then become part and parcel of that? What are policies that are part of driving the district economy? For instance, there are what you call district development plans, and there are things like your district development models, which is part of the policy of government, as it were. And there are local economic development policies that are there, which many people are not even aware of. And sometimes, rightfully or wrongfully so, people end up blaming government and blaming politicians and blaming everything else. But when they themselves do not actually expose themselves to the document that is there in place, which documents talks to how the whole place ought to develop. And if you just want to develop properly, what you do, you just plug into what's a model of economic development that government has already outlaid. And that model requires you to understand it and make sure that you are part and parcel of it. And then we'll have less people complaining, but more people executing. I'm actually trying to open up some notes here because I had a meeting with the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition. And we had a very beautiful meeting wherein we're talking about how do you develop small towns. There's a program of developing small towns in South Africa. And that program, can I tell you, it is well and alive. For those that live here in Johannesburg, for instance, they would remember that in places like your Rosebank, going towards Sandton and Midrand, etc., you've got lots of development. That development has come about as a result of governmental support. That support is through what you call the rate program, right? And that's the Real Estate Investment Trust. It's sitting right there within the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition. If you look at big developers and other developers, they simply read and understand how the government policy works. They plug in to that policy, and then they sort of like extract some leverage of that. They extract some resources and money, and they actually get assisted a lot through government. Government, remember, they give out billions into industry for industry to help create jobs. One industry which I always talk about, which I've noted over time that people don't understand how much government puts in money to the automobile industry, the motor industry in South Africa, just for sustaining that industry, for it to create more jobs. And they pump in billions, millions of dollars into that particular industry as grants, by the way, not just money that is a loan, it's grants, money. And so is provincial governments. They are tasked and charged with, you remember sometimes they even offer, as you know globally, they offer bailouts to companies. And some of those bailouts are in form of grant. We saw during the unrest in the country where the government put in a lot of money to bail many companies out. For companies, even small, that experience severe challenges through the unrest, including due to weather, etc. So government will be pumping money, but how many of our entrepreneurs are exposed to that? And others could not even claim anything because, number one, they are not properly registered. If they are not compliant. If they are compliant, they are not aware of opportunities that exist within the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, within the Department of Small Business Development. Like right now, I'm sure you are all aware that we've got what is called the Developmental Fund, right? I've spoken about RATE, Real Estate Investment Trust. There's other, incentives that are coming from the state, which are supposed to be exploited by yourselves. But we then realize that what has been the gap for years now is, yes, there are chambers of commerces at times in small rural places. But some of those chambers of commerces, their focus is not on entrepreneurship development, as it were, but their focus is more on the existing business community, which is good, but we can do better. And their focus sometimes is only on tenders, to say how do we exploit tenders, etc. That's why you end up having people fighting over tenders, who must get this tender, and others, they even kill each other just because the tender space is like overly saturated and people are chasing after that, etc. And there's lots of chaos that ends up happening. Here on this platform, we are teaching entrepreneurship, local entrepreneurship, international entrepreneurship, right? And all types of entrepreneurship as to how do you become part of the global entrepreneurship, as it were, through raising capital that can be raised both local and abroad, and through access to markets into these big chain stores. Actually, I planted maize, and it sort of like became a bumper harvest for me beyond my expectation. And I just went around the shops trying to see if I can sell it, etc. And the butternut. And I realized that, of course, I've always known this, that they've got central distribution networks where you've got to enlist yourself as part of the supplier. And for you to do that, you must be well organized, because nobody's going to take your crop or your product that is not up to standard or compliant. So we are therefore going to set up an aggregator, because we've seen that generally what is happening is many farmers, especially if I were to talk about the economy in the farming space, they have got problems that they produce lots and lots of produce, but they do not have a market for it. And they're surprised that, they can't, sell it. Because it's not just the hawkers who are going to buy that maize. It's far bigger in quantities than just for it to fit into the hawking space, as it were. So instead, we need to create this system where we can have this central point, and then give sort of like the structured way of how do you grow maize, how do you grow your chilies, and engage with Nando's. Already we are talking to them. Nando's, by the way, Tandaso and our colleagues in Zimbabwe, they buy a lot of chilies from Zimbabwe into South Africa. That is in terms of the country-to-country trade, which is beautiful. And they are looking for that. You've got now a whole lot of these other restaurants, organizations and companies and franchisors opening, and they are busy looking for these supply chains to say, let's get the chilies, let's get all of these types of things. And you'd find people are now moving around. They do not know how to access these things. And the Rural Chamber platform, together with the Mandla North, is going to be helping you in the district, in your locality, to be able to be well structured, well organized, so that you are part and parcel of this entire value chain. You don't have to cry anymore tomorrow and say, Abasnagile, they do not take care of us, etc. We've got big organizations here, your Woolworths, and some of our farmers here, by the way, they supply Woolworths, for your own information. You've got organizations like your ShopRite Checkers, and now you've got Walmart. And I know Brajoy and I are working on that to say we need to bring them on board here. I've always followed Walmart as an institution, an amazing institution that is bigger than many governments, especially in Africa. Because if you study them and look at how big the turnover of such institutions are, you just get, bogged when you realize that they are $1 trillion type institutions. We've got such institutions, and they have to buy from us as local producers, but they cannot just buy from us anything that is not produced according to the right type of quality. And so is other sectors of economy, where you've got engineers here who are producing and installing your solar panels and everything else, because we touch right across all other economic sectors. I'm just making agriculture and farming as a way of an example. We've got properties that needs to be developed in rural areas. As you know, our estate that Tobe always comes and talks about here, it's on prime land. People are already building their houses. We have put the bulk infrastructure. There is not even one government support or a cent that has gone into our own estate that is at Nonoti. And today, people are building houses there that are overseeing the sea, and it's beautiful. It's a prime land that we have to develop ourselves. It has to be for us, by us, and it has to be about us. It has to be us who lead development, and we must stop the reliance on politicians. I know my politicians friends who are here. They will understand the language and why I'm saying like this. I'm not against politicians, as it were, but I'm against a culture of relying on politicians, some of whom have never even sold a cabbage or a sweet because they've never been entrepreneurs. It's a fact that we ought to make sure we relieve them of that burden where we think for us to move forward, we must consult a politician. I speak about these things openly on my radio shows, for those who listen to me, and it's a fact that we must really get that mindset out and really be truly entrepreneurial in outlook, in the way we engage, in the way we read and research, and not just do your survivalist type of economic activity. We must be based on research. We must be based on R&D. And within our Rural Chamber of Commerce and Industry, there is already a strong feature of research and development, which is a guiding light towards the entrepreneurship that we are engaging all across South Africa and Africa as a whole. So I wanted you to understand that when we emphasize on this, sometimes we just talk on surface and not really give you why are we doing this? Why are we ruranomically doing things? Why are we ensuring that we are pushing towards a well-organized community of our networks so that they are part of a learning process of driving our own economy? I've not even touched on the intra-Africa trade in terms of what is the largest trading bloc on earth, as to how we need to be trading one with another. That is just going to be a topic on its own where we're going to be inviting people. And I'm hoping that during our conference, we'll have those sessions where we're talking about our trading one with another in the continent, in the region, which is SADC, and making sure that we trade. We are actually working hard with our Nigerian brothers, where we're going to have South Africa-Nigerian Summit. We want to move over to Nigeria and get to sort of explore the economic activity in Nigeria, vice versa. I do know that a lot of people, and I was talking like this to our Nigerian counterparts, because of the privilege of having traveled to Nigeria not once and many, many times, and meeting Aliko Dangote and many others. People have got a very jaundiced view of Nigeria. Nigeria is a beautiful country with great opportunities. Sadly, we get the raw end of our Nigerian brothers coming to South Africa, not all of them, but some of them who spoil the cake, because people end up having a lens of a Nigeria that is unfortunately not good enough. So those are things that as family, because we are family here in Africa, as much as we tussle and fight over so many things, we've got to sort of like talk about and say, hey, brothers, let's deal with these issues as a family and make sure that you really take care of these raw elements that are really spoiling the beautiful thing that our Kwame Nkrumahs and Steve Bigos and many of our great patriots who have gone ahead of us fought, that we become one and work together. And so is our diaspora. I think it's what's called Fifth Region, where we do need to bring a lot of our brothers and sisters. I'm glad the brother Charlie, brother Joe, you're doing a great job to always connecting us with our brothers from the States and many across the world, wherein we need to tap into their networks, tap into their knowledge, tap into their resources, and bring them on board. We're a fully fledged organization with so much to really offer to you as entrepreneurs. And please participate and be part of this thing. Don't take it light. This thing is huge. This thing is humongous. This thing is gigantic. This thing is out of this world. It's going to be outliving us long before we're gone. We need this to roll out and roll over and move right into the future, where the future generations will be able to work together. Africa is a new frontier in every respect. Africa needs to grow in leaps and bounds, and Africa is going to be leading. The average age is 19.5 years. across the African continent, if you were just averaging it. And we are a continent that is youthful and powerful, and the Asian Tigers era has come and gone. They are plateauing now. There's so many things that are happening with us, which are so positive. But if we can't see that, we are going to be remaining in the shadows, and we're going to be crying that things are not happening and government is not supporting us. This is our government, and we must challenge them and make sure that just like they come to us during the times when we are to vote them into power, I always go there and tell them that I need to see the mayor, the president. He can't just run away and hide from me just because now he's a president. When he used to knock on my door and say, please vote for me. We must be bold like that and intentional like that, because they are sitting on resources that are supposed to be helping us as citizens. So we want you to be a bit bolder and push a little bit more and make sure that you are part of a generation that is going to change this whole poverty that is really plaguing our countries and our regions and our districts. And I don't want to go to the stats, because we always talk stats here, which is supposed to enlighten us about the challenges that we are faced with as a country, as a region. So, colleagues, I thought I should give you that rundown in terms of why we are talking about the Rural Chamber of Commerce and Industry and why we want you to register. Because once we are done, we are no longer going to be talking a lot. We'll be moving a lot. We'll be turning things around a lot in each district. Actually, we are going to have a meeting with all the leaders of this district. We'll start virtually to say Zululand district, Karoo district, and all those districts, let's come together. And then we come together even physically, where we talk and craft strategy. We invite economists, we invite all those expertise based people that we need to help us guide our own environments, because that's the practical economy that we're always talking about. That is what we need to activate on the ground. That is what we need to see and lead as entrepreneurs, as economic development specialists, and as professionals in our own different fields. So, colleagues, maybe before I ask you to sort of like raise some issues, I'm going to allow our young men here who are helping us with the Rural Chamber just to tell us at the state of Rural Chamber website, where are we at, what needs to happen from now as we are moving to the close. That is Mr. Ndlovu, no Mr. Gogo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, we are very.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, maybe if you can allow me to also present.
Okay, let me give you this hosting rights. Yeah, whilst you are taking that, thank you to our friend. Thanks, Patience from Ghana. Thank you so very much, Sisi. You're welcome, but we are coming there. Thanks, Brother Godfrey, as usual, my brother. Yeah, go ahead, Puti. You can upload your presentation.
Okay, just a second. Should be that. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Not it. Oh, yeah, it's coming. It's coming. There it is. Yeah.
Okay. So are you seeing the Rural Chamber of Commerce website, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, cool. So yeah, greetings everyone. Sanbonani, Dumilang, Fsheni. So as we think we did touch on this a week or so ago, that we have changed the look and feel of the Rural Chamber of Commerce. So now we're trying to accommodate, members, interested parties, and all the stakeholders who will be interacting with us. As Webxaba has mentioned a lot of the reasons or of the why we have, trying to improve this and trying to make sure this is maybe inclusive and it directs to where we want to go. So as you would have heard last week or the week or so, when we said we haven't opened this to the public for people to start onboarding their memberships, This is due to the fact that, we understand the sheer scale of where this is going or where this might lead to. With that said, we need to make sure that we have a platform that can accommodate the scalability. By scalability, I mean, if numbers are growing, we don't want a situation where the website is crashing and people are not happy and people feel as if, this is not accommodating to what they want to do. So you would see here at royalchamber.africa, that's our new domain as well, which accommodates and which sort of drive the point home to say, we're trying to grow Africa from a rurality point of view and from an economy point of view. So as you can see here, we have a number of things that we have done here to sort of show, and then we have highlighted these things that we did already show you what we do. So it's going to be easy. So we're going to open this to everyone on the call and everyone who's not on the call to now start joining as from Tuesday this coming week. So we're just finalizing a few things on our side, but to ensure that from there, anyone can now join on various platforms or on various platforms. And then that's where you're going to be providing your name and don't be, let me just quickly do something so that you can see. So let me just create something so that you can see how it works. Right, so you just create an account there, which will be your normal thing that you would do, and then you typically have to go to your Gmail and test that account, right? So you'd see there you would get an email address that will verify that this is you. So you get an email address of this sort, and then you click this verification email, right? As soon as you click that verification email, then it says your verification email, your email has been verified successfully, and then you load registration. From there, you then continue, check verification status, and then these are just means to make sure that we secure your details, we secure the site as well, and then you continue adding your addresses as much as you can here. For the sake of testing, we can just do that. You paste in and say yes, and then you select your province there, district. So again, to Klaba's point, the district will also help us in the sense that when we now starting to have those district representatives, we can also just pull the data on those guys, and then we can also have their details on the website. So let me Johannesburg, for instance. And then you continue. Oh, sorry. Then you just need the. I don't know why it's not. Why is it
not? Please change the code and the city. Then it should pick it up automatically. So change the postal code and the suburb.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Just do this. Just do that. Continue. But this is just a normal flow, which you will then follow when you need to register, and then you click here whether you're coming in as an individual or an organization. For an organization, you click that. Gender doesn't really matter, but the person who's representing the company at that point will then select their gender at this point. Say male, and then you type in that date of birth, and then here you can put in the passport number. Then the business requirements, because some of the services that we are pushing is to understand you as a business. What exactly do you also want the Royal Chamber to assist you with? And also, what are your interests in this? And then you can put, say, finance, I don't know, funding for now, for the sake of funding. right? And then you just click that, and then you then continue and then you put in the name of the company, say rural, and then you say it's a private company. Sector, you're saying, I mean, agriculture, and then you type in the registration here. 07. Then you put in the number there. Then if you have a website, then you continue with that, right? So this is just a flow to get you to things that we need to share with you is then tailored to your industry and tailored to your needs as a business or as a person who's interested in those things. So you follow, and then from there, it will land you into from a price point of view to see exactly
Well, yeah, sometimes you get lost, Babindlov.
exactly which one are you coming to sign up, not being able to sign up accurately. So as you can see here, you will choose if you want annually, if you want monthly, and then these are the price that you will see, and then you say complete registration. But here it also list high level that you would get with these, and then so that you then what exactly you would be completed the registration. Because I'm not using any of these paying, it will then redirect you to a payment gateway where you will then be able to then pay with that. So it's right. You come into log in here, and when you're logging in, you'll see there's different things that we do share with people who. So the reason for that is because we honor and us get to reap the benefits of what they are paying for in a way. Let me just make sure. So this is just to ensure that we give you what you. They are going in there. There are all of the newsletters that we'll be pushing in there. There's as you can see here, there's Connect. Where Connect is to see other members and see other businesses that they do have. So you'll see with paying members to say there's an opportunity that we are supplying cultural equipment government, just to drive the point home that these are opportunities that are then are given to first preferences for the members to see all these opportunities that are there. And then we'll have business trips. So like, for instance, Mr. Kaba is going to Taipei now. You can see from based on your membership, you will then see what do you qualify as a matter of, it is kind of matter of how you could then participate. These will be listed in here. Then connections, you will see, okay, you have these connections, maybe someone in the membership network is then understand what you do, or maybe collaborate with you. This the legislation here given that we would open everything, but it's just to also, give, share knowledge as to the legislation.
Yeah, Mr. Ndlovu,
around these things. But here we just want to give the
You keep getting cut, my brother. I thought it's only on my side. It seems like everybody has got the problem. You get cut, we can't hear you, but can you hear me?
So can hear you now, sure.
Yeah, your line, at least we heard you when you were starting off, but as you kept presenting, your line just went a bit dizzy. However, we were seeing the screen at least. So you'd just be cutting off like this. Yeah, but we've heard you. Are you done now? Jenny, Mr. Koko, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, I'm sure Jenny, your line has been really intermittent.
Yes, it has been.
Yeah, it has been okay. But at least we saw the presentation. Colleagues, please do register. Tomorrow, Koko, we're going to, for those that have registered before, don't worry, you are still captured. But tomorrow on this Africa, because it's now ruralchamber.africa. It's no longer ruralchamber.co.za only. We still have that address, right? But we are using, we're migrating to Africa. Yeah.
Yes. So just to maybe add some more is that for those that were registered on the previous on .co.za, all they will need to do is just to register this process. So we are planning on them just so they can just register their email addresses and a password only, and then the system should automatically pull the information from the current system where they are currently stored on .co.za. So for new people, it should be they just need to register all the way through. But we will make an announcement once we have finalized all the tests that we were doing and all the minor fixes we were doing as well, so that the system is easily accessible and easily usable.
Okay. No, thanks so much, Muelas. Appreciate you guys. And so we'll keep improving on the system, and thanks for your patience, colleagues. Brothers and sisters, I think I don't want to waste much of your time. You've been patient enough. We are 20:06 in SA. Unless there's any quick question that you would like to pose. Obviously, if you've got some question, you are most welcome or comment to come in now. Thanks. Knox.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Gajeni, for the presentation. I'm now covered on the migration issue for the existing members on the database. I just want to find out, I don't know if I missed it in the profile section. Do you have a space where one can add social media existence of the organization in the page? Things like the website and whatnot. Thanks.
Yes, thanks so much, Knox. Gajen?
Yes, we do have a space there, Knox, to add your websites. Not so much all the other social media platforms, but it's something we can look into. But definitely the website is there. Yeah. Thanks, Knox.
Okay. Any other question? Thanks so much. Comment, questions, colleagues, before we close? Thank you, Brother Charlie. Appreciate my brother. We will definitely be talking even next time. Appreciate your comment. Delhi?
Thank you, Chair. There was a call for district servers earlier on last year, and I'm not sure how far is that, even the acknowledgement of the name received. I know you've spoken at length about such services, but in terms of the process, how far is it? Thank you.
Thanks, Delhi. That's a very important one. We nearly forgot. Muelas, would you like to just give a brief update? How many people registered so far?
Nonkosi, from my records, let me just quickly check here. We have 12 people that have registered to volunteer. We have a couple from eThekwini, Mgungundlovu, Krisani, City of Johannesburg, Mkanyagude, Umzinyathi, and Kangala. So I think what we then will do is maybe during the course of this week, Mr. Nonkosi, we can maybe just send emails as we spoke on the meeting earlier. We had a meeting earlier with Nonkosi with regards to that as well. So I think we will just send the emails because we do have emails of the people that registered, that showed interest, and then we can start tracking and start maybe communicating with them. But we do have about 12 names so far.
Thanks, Steli. I think it's the reason why, again, we had to come again here and emphasize why do we need volunteers from districts, because we do not have a lot of people having raised their hands, and we would like to give more people an opportunity to do so. Thank you so much. You are welcome, Kajeni. Thanks. Colleagues, going once, going twice. Okay, thank you so very much to all of you for having come through to listen into this very important session. We have got, this session is going to be uploaded like other sessions onto our Amandla Umnoto TV on YouTube. Thanks, Mpumi. And we appreciate all of you guys for really coming through. Again, suggestions we do take, like you did last time where you were suggesting the fisheries programs. We are going to bring a lot of other programs. We truly appreciate you coming through. Kajeni, you'll close it on your side because you are the one that has got hosting rights now. Good evening, good morning, and in Ghana, in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, in America, and everywhere else you are watching from. Nkosi kakhulu, thank you ever so much. Siyabonga. Have a great week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.